everybody. My name's Sean.
I'm Bob. He's Bi.
They're Butch.
And together we are the Butch and the Bi.
This week, we had a good time watching Arsenic and Old Lace.
Yeah.
But not only did we have a good time watching it, we had a good time watching it with our good friend Sean.
Hi.
Hello again, Sean.
Hello again.
You're back.
I'm back.
We got to stop meeting like this.
We do. And you're going to be back again next week as well.
I sure am.
It's crazy how that works.
You got to start locking your door.
No, it takes too much time. Hurts my joints. Speaking of hurting my joints, man, this is a movie. This is a nearly, what was this, almost like 3-hour long movie?
Close to it, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Frank Capra, from when I looked at his filmography, most known for Mr. Deeds Goes to Town and It's a Wonderful Life. And another thing that we're not going to talk about that Sean shared right before the show brings to life Joseph Kesselring's 1941 stage farce, Arsenic and Old Lace. Written in the late 30s, the film follows the Brewster family, descendants of the Mayflower settlers, and I say that in giant quotations. To some, like scholar Matthew C. Gunter, the film acts as a commentary on the formation of the United States, the stark contrast between America's freedom and the violent colonization of the country. Before we get into the writing crew, the writing and the crew and the cast, I hadn't seen this before. Sean, you had seen this before.
Yes.
Bob, you've seen a production of the stage play before, correct?
Yes, the Menominee Theater Guild did a very fun production. I love a farce. This is very much the sort of thing that my mother enjoys. This is right down the barrel of their sense of humor.
You're her child, so
yeah. But we have things that we don't agree on. So the fact that we can absolutely agree on this is down the barrel her sense of humor.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that all three of us are coming at it with a different experience with the story. As both Sean and Bob are very aware, there are not a lot of movies of this era that I have seen or go out of my way to watch. So this was a bit of a trip for me. I'd say down memory lane, but I was born in 95, so not really any memories. Yeah. But it was fun. It reminded me a lot of Oscar, which I think, Bob, you'd shown me a couple years ago. And it also reminded me quite a bit of Clue, which Clue's my favorite movie. So there was lots I enjoyed about this. Sean, when's the last time you watched this?
It was about a year or two ago was the last time I watched it.
Oh, okay. And was that the first time you'd seen it?
No, the first time I had seen it, I was a wee little lad. I grew up watching Turner Classic Movies. So this was one of my favorite movies when I was younger. And just like whenever it would come on TV, I was like, yeah, I got to sit down and watch this. This is great. Now streaming's a thing. I was like, I can watch it whenever. So.
Which, funnily enough, it wasn't on any of the streamers.
Right, I know.
So they,
yeah,
no. Yeah, Bob, what about you? What was it like? Because you had not seen the movie up until this point. You just seen that stage production. When was that stage production?
I feel like I was probably 11, 12. Maybe that's the era. I have a hard time placing things in a timeline. Definitely have a hard time before I started doing theater myself. But it would have definitely been before I started doing theater. I started doing theater at 12. So
gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
yeah. And general vibes before we get into anything too specific. Thumbs up, thumbs downs.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen not a ton of this era movies, but I've seen like a decent amount. This just wasn't when we saw it as a movie. Saw the stage production of it, and my mother was like, this is delightful. Yeah, I grew up with a decent amount of like black and white stuff and transatlantic accent and everything. So it felt very comfortable and homey to me. And then also as little bits would trigger memories from seeing the show, be like, oh my God.
Yeah. And Sean, what about you? What's general vibes on this?
Honestly, it's one of my favorite movies. So, I mean, it's like Bob said, it's very, very homey vibe to it. So,
yeah, I too feel at home with so many bodies in the basement. So the film was produced by Capra and former Warner Brothers president Jack L. Warner, with the screenplay adaptation written by Julius J. and Philip G. Epstein. no relation to anything recent, who also did the screenplay for Casablanca, as well as The Man Who Came to Dinner, several other films. The film cinematographer is Sol Polito, is edited by Daniel Mandel, and the music is by Max Steiner. So Sean, you haven't seen the stage show at all.
Right.
Bob, from what you can recall from the version of the stage show you saw, as far as them adapting it.
Yeah, I mean, they get to expand it because as a stage show, it is a single set. It is a one location farce, people coming and going. So like there's certain elements of movie making, like the part at the beginning. I'm pretty sure that we just start the show just like in the space and they show up and you learn more. There's a little more exposition in the movie because they can do the little bit at the records office. So yeah, that's mostly it, is just being able to expand the world and show a little more of it from what I remember anyways.
Yeah, no, I there's not a whole lot here. It's the 40s in film, so it's I think one of the things is impressive is just the amount of use that this film gets out of its set, because again, for the most part, similarly, it is set entirely in the house. It is I can see a lot of this in some of the films that I've seen before. Like we mentioned Clue, I can see a lot of the kind of thread of that throughout a movie like Clue. It's this big crazy house full of all these crazy characters,
similar to Oscar, where like most of the elements is just people coming and going in his one big mansion.
And like excellent use of the set kind of across the board. Like they make use of every kind of visual angle you could have on the house. There's some really great moments we'll talk about later. But yeah, as far as cast goes, it's a pretty big one, but the core cast, it stars probably one of the greatest actors of the golden age of Hollywood, Cary Grant as Mortimer, Brewster, a theater critic and very publicly known denouncer of marriage, who is just about to marry his neighbor, Elaine Harper, played by Priscilla Lane, who starred in the Roaring Twenties, Saboteur at the start of the film. The Brewster family is comprised of the mysterious and murderous Jonathan Brewster, played by Raymond Massey, taking over the role from Boris Karloff, who could not do the film due to obligations during the stage show. Fun fact we learned from Sean when we finished watching the movie, because this movie refers to him as Boris Karloff so many times because of his plastic surgery, and it's a running bit, which is very fun. And so that was something they added specifically because of that, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Abby and Martha Brewster, played by Josephine Hull and Jane Adair, respectively, who are the two, I believe they're the aunts, right? They're not either of their mothers.
Right.
They're the aunts, and boy, are they kooky. They're two kooky old ladies with a plan, and they love having men over as company for a limited time. And Teddy Roosevelt, played by John Alexander, who is Mortimer and Jonathan. Is it their cousin?
No, brother.
Okay. Are all three of them?
There are three brothers. Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. And he's a man this is the 40s, so it's a bit outdated on mental health, but he's under the impression that he is Teddy Roosevelt. He runs around. There's a lot of references to Teddy Roosevelt's life. I think one of the best recurring bits throughout this is him running up the stairs, shouting, "Charge!" and then slamming the door behind him.
The first time that happened was when I got smashed in the face by memories. I was like, oh, right. I remember this character and I remember who played him when I saw him.
The film also features Jack Carson as Officer Patrick O'Hara, taking over the beat in this part of town from Police Sergeant Brophy, played by Edward McNamara. Additionally, Jack Carson is a wannabe playwright, which is a delightful thing that comes up in this. We've got Pete Lorre. Does Pete Lorre have a fun nickname around his eyes?
No, he doesn't.
Fascinating. He really should.
But Looney Tunes love to make fun of him, and I don't know what he did to make them do him dirty like that, but man.
Pete Lorre is Dr. Herman Einstein, Jonathan's accomplice and plastic surgeon. We've also got Edward Everett Horton as Mr. Witherspoon. He's the proprietor of the local quote-unquote nut house, correct?
Happy Dale.
Happy Dale Sanitarium. Yep.
Yeah.
We'll be so happy. We've got James Gleason as Police Lieutenant Rooney. We've got Gary Owen as poor disgruntled taxi cab driver, just there the whole time. Vaughn Glaser as Judge Coleman, Chester Clute as Dr. Gilchrist, Charles Lane as a reporter at the beginning of the movie, Edward McWade as Gibbs, Hank Mann as a photographer at the marriage license office, and Spencer Charters as the marriage license clerk. Both of those last two are uncredited. I know who for me is my favorite character in this, but who are your guys' favorite characters or character?
I mean, for me, Mortimer is one of my favorites because, I mean, this Cary Grant, come on.
Yeah.
Anything that he's in is great. Peter Lorre, Dr. Einstein, just love Peter Lorre too. Mm-hmm. So those, and John Alexander is Teddy Roosevelt.
Yeah.
Top three in that order.
I think John Alexander, Teddy Roosevelt is probably my favorite. It's just so much, like all of them are great. And I love the ants and their weird little sense of morality. Like, it's just delightful. I love a farce. I love the weird characters you get in a farce. I love seeing the straight man of the farce getting pulled in all of his ways. Mm-hmm. It's just, yeah.
She made her way up. Yeah, I think for me, honestly, it's Raymond Massey as Jonathan Brewster. Mm-hmm. He's such a weird guy. He's such an odd man, and I love that his masculinity gets so threatened by his aunts once he realizes what's been happening. Mm-hmm. And there's just this vibe to him. He reminds me quite a bit of Jack Nicholson's take on the Joker. We just watched that not too long ago, and I was getting kind of a similar, like, manic kind of rage-filled vibe mixed with this level of what this character thinks charm is quite a bit. Like it's I don't know, he's just got a vibe to him that, like, this is a character I like. Those movies I mentioned before, this character's not really in those movies. This is the first time I've seen a farce like this where you've got this. I mean, you know, they play around the bit of him being Boris Karloff's character, and they have him all stitched up looking kind of like Frankenstein. But to a degree, he is this kind of creature compared to all the other characters. And then Dr. Einstein, which they have this fun little, like, Igor and Victor vibe to them as well, which is fun. But yeah,
it's really funny that you mentioned, like, the very much so, like, the creature kind of vibe to him, because in one part where he, like, pokes his leg with the fork and there's no reaction, so it's like, oh well, yeah, it's
yeah. So yeah, the film picks up with Mortimer and Elaine getting married at the reporter's office, or at the court. He's staunchly against marriage. I love that he's like full, like, mysterious stranger, like, cloak and dagger kind of, like, trench coat, hat, sunglasses get up. I love that this is a thing that's just, like, I feel bad for Elaine as a character, because why the hell is she marrying this man? This is insane to me.
We are seeing him on the most chaotic day of his life. It seems like they have a really great relationship. Mm-hmm. And, like, they've known each other forever. It's like childhood sweethearts. And it's just the day, like, I would find it hard for anyone to behave in a sensible way, having experienced what he just experienced.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, yeah, to be fair, this is the beginning of the movie we're talking about. So this is, this takes place before the rest of the movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. I was going into
yeah. It starts with the filmmakers throwing shade at the Brooklyn Dodgers too, so which is really funny.
Yeah. I'm not a sports guy. Were they good at the time?
So no, not at all. So the whole joke is that it's Halloween and Brooklyn is playing baseball and winning, and the joke is that Brooklyn can only win after baseball season's over. So yeah.
Okay. Very good. So they decide they're going to go on a honeymoon to Niagara Falls, which I feel like this is a thing. Was this a common honeymoon destination in the 40s, 50s, and 60s?
Yeah,
because I feel like, okay, gotcha. I don't think of it as a honeymoon destination nowadays. I guess it was just a bit funny to me. So Elaine, they get back to their neighborhood, which their neighborhood's the very nice neighborhood. That's the nicest part of town. The aunts live at the nicest house on the block. Elaine goes to tell her father, news of the marriage, and Mortimer goes to tell his aunts, Abby and Martha. And we get introduced to the charge game in this with him. The cops have come to collect the toys for whatever fundraiser they were collecting toys for.
Was it Christmas drive?
Christmas drive in October?
Let's start early.
Well, they're talking about fixing the toys, so I think they have some refurbished time.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So they're there to pick him up. We've got the rookie cop, and I love his fear of Teddy Roosevelt in this for the first chunk of time. What are we at this point in the film? What are we thinking about? What's going on? Because I didn't see the twist coming. I didn't know what this was about at all coming into it. But what about you guys?
Very unsuspecting, from the start. It's like that was the whole point. It's like they hide the plot twist, very well in the beginning. And so we were just looking at a nice, normal ish, American household in New York. So yeah, it's like, okay, this is nice. Got some playing a harpsichord, very underrated instrument, well, might I add. And he's Teddy Roosevelt. So suddenly charged the blockhouse. So.
Yeah, no, it's like that little bit's dropped, and then it makes you really feel for the main character because you were also thrown into this. So suddenly you're just like, oh. Yeah.
So while Mortimer is at the house, he's looking for notes for his next book that he is working on. This is when he discovers a corpse in the window seat. He does not know how the corpse got there. He doesn't know why the corpse is there. He doesn't know who the corpse is, and he doesn't know the manner of death. All he knows is now, there's a corpse in my aunt's house. Oh no. It turns into him thinking that Teddy is the one that did it, because again, that makes the most sense. He's running around yelling charge and slamming doors and pretending he's Teddy Roosevelt. Famously a very peaceful and non-violent man. He solved all of his conflicts very calmly. Conflict resolution was Roosevelt's strong suit, as you may recall. Abby and Martha actually confess very quickly to killing old Mr. Hoskins, explaining that he was old and lonely. And this turns into this charade of Mortimer the whole game of this movie is Mortimer trying to protect his aunts from being discovered. And every step of the way, a new person enters a house, comes back at the wrong time, at the inopportune time. And the more this is happening, the more he's finding out that it's not just Mr. Hoskins here, that there are 11 other corpses buried in the basement. And that when they tell Teddy to go dig the Panama Canal, he is actually he's digging graves for all of these people. Ethically, where do you guys stand on old aunt lady assisted murder physician?
I'm going to quote it's my favorite quote from the movie. Not only is it against the law, it's wrong. So.
I know. I'm trying to think of how many of society's problems today would be solved if we just killed all the lonely men. They might be on this.
It's against the law and it's wrong. For the purposes of the farce, I'm so glad it's happening.
Yeah. It's like,
I've never been more excited for a dozen dead bodies.
We're not supposed to be doing shit like this. Keep going, please.
Yeah, it's so silly.
Mm-hmm. This is where I would assume the title's coming in, arsenic being one of the poisons and old lace being all the doilies. Is there something I missed?
I feel like that's just sort of like a reference to old ladies in general.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what that means? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. I don't speak old people speak.
I mean, Abby and Martha were wearing a lot of lace. So
yeah. And they're old.
And they are, yeah.
What I think fascinates me most about this dynamic is that they think they're doing a public service to like the community and the people that they're killing. Yeah, it's a charity.
Yeah, no, the first one, which you can't count, was because he had a heart attack, and they're like, "Oh, he looks so peaceful now. He's dead. Wait a minute, we can do this intentionally."
I like this. Another
Yes.
Unknown to Mortimer, they do have a new man moving into the house. Is it that he's visiting or moving in?
They're renting a room. He was looking for a room. He saw the sign and, just wants to see the room. He doesn't think he's going to like it. Doesn't have any family. He's all alone in the world. Just very kind of bitter, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And perfect Mark.
Yes, absolutely perfect victim. And, but they're going to try and lure him in to give him wine that has been laced with arsenic, cyanide, strychnine, and it's elderberry wine to hide the smell. And it's just the entire time that's happening, Mortimer's on the phone trying to get in contact with the operator to get to Happy Dale. And he turns around and sees that he's about to drink the wine. He just flips out. It's like, stop. So,
yeah, there's a lot of really great physical comedy from Cary Grant in this. It feels almost, I think when I see a lot of movies of this era, the performances to me seem a little over dramatic. And this is one of the few that I've seen where it's like, no, this is the appropriate amount of dramatic.
It's so funny that you say that because Cary Grant hated doing this movie for that exact reason.
Oh, because it was too.
Because Frank Capra told him to overact, and he said I hate doing this. Jimmy Stewart would have been way better for this. That was exactly what he said. Jimmy Stewart would have been so much better for this role. And it was like, well, this is what you get because you were in Bringing Up Baby. All right. This is what you get for doing so good in that, as you get cast in this. And yeah, it's
because Jimmy Stewart was It's a Wonderful Life, right? He plays.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, I guess I could see it, but there's something about Cary Grant and the type of charmer that he is in his movies that to me, it's like, oh, what if you really stress that type of character out? What if you stress? Yeah. And I think that adds to it because the moments where he's like really like disgruntled about the situation. Yeah, exactly. Just a lot of really great physical comedy moments with him.
A lot of moments that I really relate to is like, yes, this is me when I'm overstimulated over something much less important than this, but I'm also being like, just like the most stressed over stupid things. But yeah, no.
Now I'm trying to remember, the old man that does come in, did they kill him?
No, he runs away.
He runs away.
Mortimer says, do you want to die? Do you want to be killed? And he just trips over a chair, chasing him out the door.
Yeah. So after this all happens, he decides he needs to protect his aunts to get Teddy legally committed. And while he is gone, Jonathan returns, who has been gone for, I think, over a decade at this point. Is what it's implied.
Something
He's
like
been gone a very long time. The assumption is he's either dead or in jail, which seems that both were possibly true at one point or another, based on both his appearance and his demeanor. He's got this very like almost Lurch from the Addams Family vibe to him. Tall, very kind of monotone, very threatening. And they've come here to, what is it they've come here for?
Place to hide away because he just broke out of jail.
Yeah.
And because of the space, the reason that all of these poisons are here is because the patriarch of the family was like a made stuff. And so it's like, this is a great workspace for whatever they're planning to do. But yeah, he's just trying to lay low, and they're being like, we'd really rather you not be here. And he's like, very threatening, and they're like, okay. It makes them go to bed early. But they're like, but we need to get Mr. Hoskins out of the window seat.
Yes, because this is where they go to take the body they have, because they've murdered someone. They go to take the body and hide it in the house.
Teddy takes the victim of yellow fever downstairs to the Panama Canal, and then shortly after, Einstein and Jonathan are bringing the body in through the window.
Mr. Spinalzo.
And this is a great moment of everything's dark. There's no light here. We're just seeing silhouettes and hearing the back and forth. And then the ants come in and turn the lights on, and the body is nowhere. And Jonathan's like, this is my favorite Jonathan lines, is like, a doctor and apparently a magician. Just like, it's so funny. Because they're like, this guy's so threatening, but he's also very funny. And that moment is one of my favorites. Just like, because Einstein hid that body in the window seat, which is fun. When later Mortimer goes to check the window seat and sees a person who's not the person he saw before. This is one of my favorite reaction moments from Cary Grant, of just like the face acting of explaining what's happening. He's just like, it's so good. It's so
Gads, there's another one.
Getting out of hand.
Fast. Just like, where's this one come from?
So yeah, he returns from, basically he finds out he needs to get a bunch of signatures to get Teddy committed. Mind you, again, Elaine has been giving the signal for him to return so they can go on their honeymoon and canoodle, because that's definitely what they want to go do. And they, like, the whole time, additionally, they have the taxi cab driver waiting for them. The meter is running, and that's what did we ever get the final tally? Like, did they give us the bill?
It was enough to buy 2 cabs. So
it was, yeah.
Yeah.
So Mortimer returns, discovering the corpse. He is trying to get Jonathan and Einstein to leave, but they reveal that they have found Mr. Hoskins' body, so they refuse to leave. And then Mortimer, or Jonathan and Einstein, we get this moment of repeating the math that the women were doing earlier of how many bodies they've killed, and getting a baker's dozen. When
you can't count that one.
That one. And Jonathan have a very similar counting arrangement where Einstein is like, you can't count that one. I believe it was very similar natural causes.
Yeah, it was a natural causes.
Pneumonia. Yeah.
So, and Jonathan has decided that his ego should take precedence over actually getting out of here and getting away with escaping jail and murder, that he needs to one up his aunts. And to do that, he's going to kill Mortimer. What, between Mortimer and Jonathan, because we don't get, I mean, obviously we have the dynamic between Jonathan and Teddy and Mortimer and Teddy. But what are your guys's, I think, key takeaways from Mortimer and Jonathan's relationship as siblings?
Jonathan references like having tormented Mortimer as a child. Like, it's very clearly always been antagonistic. He's shown sociopathic behavior since childhood. It's just one of those things of like, yes, this person seems to have always been this way, kind of set up.
Yeah, they like, Jonathan tied Mortimer to the bed and like just literally tortured him. And he was just always this just very unpleasant child. And so it was just horrible. That's the relationship. Horrible.
That's the relationship.
Yeah,
horrible.
you really can't go off anymore on that. Honestly, it's like you can't build on that.
I do find it fascinating that Jonathan's plan is to kill Mortimer and not Teddy. Like, it's such a specific.
Doesn't really have a beef with Teddy. He's just like, he's all right.
Yeah.
Until Teddy bugs him, and then he's like, and Einstein's like, no, I draw the line at Teddy.
I draw the line at Teddy. You cannot kill Teddy.
I like their
me trying to throw away my childhood teddy bear.
No, I like how Einstein is clearly like very fond of Teddy. It's like, no, he's too good.
Yeah.
He gives him a free trip to Panama.
Yeah.
So,
he yes ands the bit. So it's so fun.
And there you are. Oh my, how I've changed.
So Mortimer goes back to visit Elaine, kind of concerned that maybe marriage wasn't the right call, especially because of his kind of realized family's more than insanity, like than what he was kind of used to. When he does return, there's this great moment where it seems maybe Einstein's looking for a way out. And Mortimer's really trying to convince him, like, you should go. You should take Jonathan with you. You should get out of here.
an excellent farce moment of Mortimer, who's a theater critic, saying this is like discussing his own situation by way of talking of shows that he has seen, which I love and is very, very Death Trap, the movie that James showed us, that's all very meta layers. It's very meta in this moment. Anyways, the point is this very meta moment where Mortimer is describing how characters in plays who are acting like there's nothing dangerous, who are not paying attention, and all that while he is being that character, and like gives Jonathan the idea to use the drape tie, and it's just like, that's a good idea. And it's this very silly meta moment that is just a thing I very enjoy in a farce.
Yeah. Now, earlier in the film, Officer O'Hara had returned to check in on things, and this is where we discover he's a wannabe playwright. He's trying to get Mortimer offers to help him if he'll just go in the kitchen and step away. Now, at this point, Einstein and Jonathan have entrapped Mortimer. They've tied him up to the chair. They've gagged him. They're describing all of the awful things they're going to do to him. Jonathan is having his villain monologue moment.
Putting on his little case with all his tools so that Cary Grant can make his eyes go even wider.
Yeah, impressively wide. I didn't think humans could do that. Meanwhile, and O'Hara returns to the living room with the lights out, with Mortimer tied up. Does not react in a way that is even remotely appropriate.
What happens is, like, he walks in, is like, what's going on here? Why are you tied up? He was just telling us about a play that he saw and reenacting it. And it was like, okay, that's it. And he's getting ready to take the gag out. And he's like, yes, please take it. No, I've got you right where I want you. I'm going to tell you about my play. And he's just like, no. So he just stays tied up and gagged for that entire bit. Yeah. And it's so good. It's just the entire time you're like,
yeah. Let's see. So Jonathan gets ready to kill O'Hara as this is happening. This is when Einstein knocks out Jonathan. This is when more cops arrive looking for O'Hara because he's been missing for a little too long. And this is where Jonathan reveals the 13 bodies that are buried in the cellar. Lieutenant Rooney arrives, who is somehow the straighter man. Like, typically these movies have one straight man. They've driven their first straight man so insane they had to introduce a second straight man to the plot.
Yeah.
So he arrives again. Mortimer is doing his damnedest to divert attention, make it sound like they're all insane. He even is going up the stairs. But I love, before the lieutenant arrives, we get this insane brawl between the cops and Jonathan and Einstein. And I think it's my favorite moment in the movie is Cary Grant sitting on the stairs just as the chaos has completely erupted in front of him in such a way that he doesn't even think he can bottle back up. And he's completely defeated. You even pointed out, Sean, right after we watched it, that like he drops the transatlantic accent during
100%. Yeah.
It's so like he
even says, he's like, I got the paper signed. What do I care? You just fight. Just go. It's fine. He's like, oh, I need to make a phone call, and holds up the phone. He's like, a little higher? Yes, please. Thank you.
Exactly.
And they're beat Jonathan with clubs. Is like, that's not going to work. And he knocks out. Oh, hey, it worked. Good job.
Yeah. Very, very delightful. Just Bob and I do a lot of improv, and I think some of my favorite moments we've done are one of us is in that state. It's usually ended up being me, of just fugue defeat. Like, not even a fugue rage, but fugue defeat. So Lieutenant Rooney arrives to break it up, pointing out that Jonathan matches the wanted posters of the escapee, and he arrests Jonathan, discounting his claim. This is when Mr. Witherspoon comes to take Teddy to Happydale, and then Abby and Martha have decided they want to join him. They want to go with him because their plan was always to, well, if they die, he was going to go to Happydale anyways. Or if they die, not if he dies. If he dies, they're going to take the body to Happydale and dance him around.
He dies, throw him in the Panama Canal. They also live right next to a graveyard. It's amazing.
Right.
Yeah.
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 When there's no more room in the graveyard, it'll go in your aunt's basement. That's the next George Romero film.
Graveyard's full to Panama. Van Halen starts playing Panama.
Panama. Oh, man.
Mortimer signs the papers as next of kin, and this is where he finds out that he is not genetically related to anyone here.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That his mother and father were the help, effectively. His father was, I believe, the cook, and his mother was the maid of the house. And the father, did they say what happened to the father, or is this another mysterious? The father just died.
So no, the father was somebody who was he was related to Abby and Martha. Yeah,
he was chief on a steamship.
Yeah, and then and so, but he and Mortimer and his mom came there, and he was an infant, and so the sea cook married his mom, and that's where he's like, I'm the son of a sea cook, I'm not a Brewster. So but I think the sea cook was related to Abby and Martha, which is why they're still like on paper family.
But he doesn't have the genetic predisposition.
Right. So
insane.
Yes. The insanity doesn't run in his family anymore. So
it just ran him out of the house.
Yeah.
I love how much Elaine is trying to just completely screw up his almost getting away with it at the end of the film here, where she's like screaming and shouting, and he's kissing her like as they walk backwards, like trying to get her like, no, just stop, just go. We're almost.
He heard them talking through the window when she went in through the cellar. I'd be like, hey, body's in the basement. That can't be true. She goes in and she's like, it is true. So he just carries her away.
Yeah. And they go to Niagara Falls with their 2 cabs and a very well-paid taxi cab driver, I suppose. Yep. It's a good day, just sitting around waiting. Yeah, that's the end of the movie. Any specific favorite moments that we didn't bring up?
I do want to say, though, they don't end up going to Niagara Falls.
Oh, they don't? Okay.
They don't. No, he carries Elaine back to her house. It's like, the cab's here. Are we going? It's like, Mr. Brewster, I'm not a Brewster. I'm the son of a sea cook. And runs off. He's like, I'm not a cab driver. I'm a teapot.
Right.
Yeah. And that's where the movie ends there. So we don't know if they ever actually go anywhere.
That's true.
And that poor cab driver, man, is like, call me a cab, is a taxi. Wait, what am I doing? Come back here. Yeah, it's a lot of tropes are used in this, and I'm so happy that every single trope that they used was used. So yeah, I think one of my favorite moments was when Mortimer was trying to distract the cops and the lieutenant from finding the bodies. He's like, and there's 100 bodies in the attic. I'll go get my bodies and you go get your bodies and we'll bring them. Take them all to Happy Dale. There is a Happy Dale far, far away.
Yeah. So he's playing crazy upstairs.
There are 13 gentlemen in the thing. You should come up here. None of mine are gentlemen.
What about you?
Yeah, I love how throughout it all, he is still so loving to his aunts. He's like, he's always calling them darlings, and it's so sweet, and he loves them so much. And it's also like, you can't do that. Just like, he never stops loving them, which is just like goes to show like how clearly like a very like loving family it is, while also being deeply unhinged.
Yeah. There was one part, though, that you didn't mention when Elaine meets Jonathan for the first time and he tries to kill her. And then Mortimer, I keep wanting to just say Jonathan. That's not right. Mortimer comes in the house and is like, I almost died. Like, I was almost killed. He just looked, Aunt Abby, Aunt Martha. No, it wasn't us. Aunt Abby, Aunt Martha. Which also, this movie is another one of my favorite lines from this, when it's not only is it against the law, it's wrong, is right afterwards it was Aunt Abby said, oh, piffle. And so like I'll say piffle sometimes just because of that. So yeah,
I love farces. I love them. I love the intensified emotions and extremely dramatic human experience. I think it's so fun. And I'm sorry, Cary Grant hated it because it's such a delightful.
Honestly, it's one of his best. It's like
so good.
everybody there's not a single person that disagree or agrees with Cary Grant on this movie. Like it's good. He was perfect for this. It's like you're entitled to your wrong opinion, sir. But it's like
it's so just the plight of the artist being like, oh, I hate how this turned out. Everyone would be like, but it's your best work.
Yeah,
it feels a bit like Daniel Craig as Benoit Blanc after being James Bond. Like not that Daniel Craig has ever indicated that he hates performing as Benoit Blanc. He clearly loves it, but it's that same vibe of the type of roles he was doing to what he's doing now, and it being like, oh, but you're really good in it too. But in this case, it's Cary Grant not agreeing with anybody on that.
Yeah.
Has the range. Yeah, no, I love Cary Grant. He was one of those early ideas of masculinity for me that formed me as a trans person. The two main ones were Dick Van Dyke and Gene Kelly, but Cary Grant was also in there for sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. Well, I know I mentioned earlier Oscar and Clue as I think good kind of recommendations for this. Do either of you have any recommended films that maybe if folks enjoyed this, they'd maybe enjoy something else?
So I just drew a complete blank.
Okay, Mr. TCF.
Yeah, no, I'm so glad that this is you edited this. Oh no, I mentioned it earlier. Bringing Up Baby with Cary Grant and Audrey Hepburn. That is another really good one. Good comedic role for Cary Grant. And also same director, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington is a really good one too. It's a more serious movie, but just think you'd like it, honestly, if you like this. So
Bob, what about you?
I'm looking at lists, trying to remember.
And Harvey, apparently.
Yes. Oh man. Oh my God. I forgot of. Oh, there's another one. There's
two of them.
An absolutely absurd movie called Topper.
Yes.
About Cosmo Topper, a stuffy old man who's haunted by two ghosts who died in a car accident and are like trying to figure out how to pass on. They're like, let's bring joy to this grumpy old man's life.
Also, don't forget the sequel, Topper Returns.
Yes, I love Topper Returns. Honestly, Jon, honestly, Jon, I think you would really enjoy Topper Returns because it's like a murder mystery situation.
And this is also a Cary Grant number.
Yeah.
The first one is,
The first one is, Top, and then...
there's also Topper Takes a Trip.
I've never seen that one.
This.
But yeah, Mr. Topper Returns would be one that would fit in a similar Clue situation where it's like murder mystery, big house with a lot of secrets and a lot of silliness. So yeah, I think those are the ones that jump to mind. Yeah.
I think the only other recommendation I have that's a little more modern is It's What's Inside, which is Netflix's body swapping kind of comedy murder mystery they did a couple of years ago that has some very good farcical elements to it.
Game Night would also be good.
Game Night's also a very fun one. That's Jason Bateman and is that Rachel McAdams?
Yes.
Yeah, that one's very fun. So yeah, those are both really good, and I think kind of fit that vibe of kind of, especially with It's What's Inside, kind of really unique, kind of foreboding house and characters kind of being in the same location the entire time. But yeah, no, this is a lot of fun. I'm glad you introduced us to it. Sean, where can the good folks find you if they would like to have more of you?
Okay. Yeah. I don't know why. Find me
I can
at Instagram.
For a couple of reasons.
Find me at Instagram, Coffee Powered Media, or Twitch, _Mando.
Yeah, don't forget
the underscore is normally silent.
Yeah. A silent underscore is what they called me in high school. Bob, where would you like the good people to go find you?
John Cage's piece. Sorry.
On Cage?
Not John. What is the thing? No. Sorry, I was trying to make a joke and then I didn't have the full.
The correct person?
Yeah.
Incredible.
The silent underscore is the there's a piece that's just like, it's named for how it's just all of the people and all of their instruments sitting silently. And yeah.
Oh, where would you like the good people to go find you on the internet?
You can find me at www.asmallfrogart.com and the Small Frog Art Instagram and the places. And if you're in the Pittsburgh area in March, I'm going to be at PIE, Pittsburgh Indie Expo. I'm very excited. I'm working on a lot of different types of comics things for that. So there's going to be a lot of new stuff. If you're a person who's gotten stuff from me before, there'll be new stuff. This is debut for things. So, yeah.
And you can find me at Junk Lobster everywhere. And you can also find us at www.thebushandtheby.com. That's A&D, not ampersand, because the internet does not like ampersands. And we'll be back next week. At least the plan. Yeah, next week, talking about Fallout Season 2 with Sean and with our friend Bunny. So yeah, tune into that. It'll give you some time to catch up on Fallout Season 2 if you hadn't watched it yet. I think that's everything. Thank you and goodbye. Sean didn't just want to yell straight at the end there.
Sorry.
I mean, I could.
No, it's too late.